So we're going to be talking about monarch butterfly reproduction. What is a monarch butterfly? A monarch butterfly is a large orange and black toxic migratory milkweed butterfly, which ranges from the areas of North America, South America, and the Caribbean. The monarch butterfly, also known as the king of butterflies, was discovered by North American settlers who gave the name monarch to these butterflies after the Prince of Orange, King William III, because of their unique color. The reason for the toxic defense of monarch butterflies is because the cardiac glycoside in their system that they have been consuming since they were larvae is protecting them from predators. This cardiac glycoside is known as milkweed, which is the pink plant to the left. By consuming this milkweed, the monarch butterfly has a defense against vertebrate predators, depending on how much they consume. But the defense does not work against invertebrate predators. The concentration of cardiac glycoside decreases as a monarch butterfly ages. And male monarch butterflies have lower concentration of cardiac glycoside than female monarch butterflies. Interesting fact, monarch butterflies do not have lungs. Their breathing process takes place through arranged tubes, which distributes oxygen throughout their entire body. This photo shows a male and a female monarch butterfly. So the monarch butterfly to the right is a male. The reason for this is because the male monarch butterflies have spots on their hind wings and thinner black webbing, while the female on the left have thicker webbing and do not have black spots on the hind parts of their wings. So monarch butterflies have two mating strategies to obtain a female mate. The first one is sperm competition, and the second one is the courtship ritual, which is also known as the takedown strategy. So first we're going to talk about sperm competition. So male monarch butterflies will increase the amount of sperm that he has in his system, which he then injects into the female monarch butterfly. Sometimes the sperm that is left inside the female monarch will dry up into a film, which will prevent her from copulating with another male and receiving his sperm. The reason why the sperm dries up is because the protein inside the sperm is a coagulating protein, which purpose is to make sure that the sperm stays inside the mate and prevents it from running back out. The enzyme, which is supposed to dissolve the coagulating protein, releases the bound up sperm. When a monarch butterfly has enough protein and enzymes, the sperm becomes like glue and hardens. Also, in monarch sperm competition, males will attack other males, forcing them to release the amount of sperm that they have built up for the female, leaving them a less likely chance of reproductive success. So before we get to the next mating strategy, I want to talk about reproduction, which will lead up towards the courtship ritual. So monarch butterflies take reproducing very seriously, and it is a very long process. It's time consuming. It takes 16 hours to be exact. Before mating, the male monarchs start by opening up their wings about 3 to 4 inches, releasing a pheromone that entices a female monarch. The pheromone is released in the hind part of the monarch male's wings through the hypothalamus. This pheromone is only released when a male monarch spots a female monarch flying by. It's not released at any other time. So now we're going to be talking about the courtship ritual. Like I said before, once the male spots a female, he releases the pheromones to entice her. Sometimes the pheromones don't work, so the male monarch uses the courtship ritual instead to reproduce with his female mate. And there's a really good reason why the other name for the courtship ritual is the takedown strategy. So, the courtship ritual is a unique dance in the air or on the ground. So, this ritual is what males perform only. The male monarch butterfly will use a method called perching and patrolling for finding a suitable mate. During the perching and patrolling method, a male monarch will patrol the surrounding area and will land on a branch and wait for his mate to pass by. And the moment he spots her, he quickly pursues her and begins the ritual. So I'm going to be telling you how the ritual can work. It could work in the air or on the ground. So this one is in the air to the ground. So the male monarch will circle the female in the air and tackle her to the ground and start mating with her. The male forcefully interlocks his abdomen to the female's abdomen. Once connected, the female struggles to free herself from the male monarch's grasp. If the female monarch breaks free, the male monarch loses his chance to copulate with her. But if her struggling behavior decreases and she begins to get tired, she starts to calm down. This helps the male continue his copulating process for 16 hours. For the ground ritual, it's a little bit the same, but a little bit different. So, unreceptive females, including those that have already mated or are wrong species, will signal that they are unavailable by spreading their wings and raising their abdomens high, making copulating impossible. The male monarch will forcefully attach his abdomen to the unreceptive female. Once connected, the female struggles to free herself from the male monarch's grasp. If she breaks free, like I said before, the male loses his chances to mate with her, but if he succeeds, he mates with her for 16 hours. During the 16-hour copulation, the male monarch releases spermatophore that enters the small storage sac inside the female's bursa or vagina. Sometimes males carry around the female that they're mating with, but not always. It's an insurance policy to make sure that other males can't interfere with his 16-hour copulation. Male monarchs mate numerous times during their short lives, around 7 times, while females only mate once unless forced. So if you look at the photo that is to the left, you can see a male and a female copulating, and the way that they're facing is how their abdomens are interlocked with each other. It's kind of cool. So, interesting fact, before monarchs go through their chrysalis cycle, the male caterpillar tries to mate with the female caterpillar to impregnate her so that by the time her chrysalis cycle happens, her eggs will have his sperm and will be ready to fertilize before other mates. So, spermatophore. The spermatophore is a protein capsule containing a mass amount of nutrients inside one monarch butterfly's sperm. It is approximately 10% of their body mass. The mass of spermatophore increases depending on the age of virgin male monarch butterflies. With some time, after the male monarch butterfly is no longer a virgin, the spermatophore can decrease. This decreased amount of spermatophore can lower their chances of successfully fertilizing a female monarch butterfly's egg. Surprisingly, monarch butterflies provide an example of Bateman's principle, meaning monarch butterflies will meet whenever if possible, despite the non-trivial cost involved. Bateman's principle. So for Bateman's principle, most species variability in reproductive success is greater in males than in females. There is a consequence of anisogamy, which is sexual reproduction by fusion of dissimilar gametes. meaning that males have sperm that can constantly keep fertilizing females' eggs until their lifespan ends, while females are born with the amount of eggs that they have and are limited the chance of reproductive success. So, what Bateman is trying to say is that sperm is cheap and eggs are not. Female monarchs after copulation. As the female stores the male monarch sperm in her bursa, it allows her to break down the enzymes in that sperm that she has collected and turn it into nutrients to fertilize her eggs. A female monarch butterfly surprisingly stores sperm all the way up to the first male that she has mated with in that exact same day. The sperm that the female has collected is then used to fertilize that egg. Interesting fact, the sperm that is actually fertilizing the female monarch's egg is the first sperm that she had inserted in her that day. So the first male who copulated with her is actually the one who is fertilizing her eggs. But if the first monarch spermatophore is low, then the males whose spermatophore is high will fertilize it instead. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the egg laying process, which is the most important process for a female monarch butterfly. So during the egg laying process, a female monarch butterfly can lay up to about 500 to 1,000 offsprings, depending on how many eggs she can produce in her lifetime, because monarchs have a limited amount and she only lives to 4 to 6 weeks. So she chooses a specific location, which is determined by the warm atmosphere and the level of humidity. If the environment is too cold and if the humidity is below level, the eggs could rot and grow fungus, which could kill her offsprings. So to obtain the perfect environment, the female monarch uses the little hairs on her legs to decide which leaf to lay her eggs on. Female monarch butterflies like to try to always lay their eggs on milkweed plants so that her offsprings could survive and consume the cardiac glycoside. Sometimes a female monarch butterfly can decide to lay her eggs next to a predator's nesting grounds. By laying her eggs near predators, she is able to mark her offsprings with the pheromones of that predator so that they believe the eggs are actually another predator of the same species nearby. So the photo on the right shows how the female monarch butterfly lays her eggs. And in this photo, she laid them in batches on the leaf. I had another photo where she laid them in like sections. And that's the end of the video.